What is going on? Welcome back. My name is Julian and I'm about to make you some fucking money. So please pay attention and get your fucking notes out. So of course, if you already don't trust me because you obviously, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But like the internet is a scammy place right now. It's a dark web place. So if you don't trust me, of course, here's my brand. I've done, with my partner, Jason, we started this brand around May 1st. And I'm recording this is July 31st, and we are, have made $440,000 in sales with this brand. I can refresh it just for you guys to, not be in the comment. You know what I mean? But basically, so yeah, this is our brand. Obviously we're on a bit of decline right now. We're trying to work some things out on the creative side, but, so far this is what's gotten us there. And let me tell you why, because you are probably watching this and you're probably, testing ads on Facebook and you're probably getting a few sales, maybe zero, but maybe you're getting a few sales. Maybe you're getting a ROAS around 1.5, maybe 2. But the second you try to scale, the second you try to do anything, it just crashes. Maybe you might have a day of 4 ROAS and then the next day you have 0.5. I have no idea what your situation is, but clearly you are here to learn and try to make money. And let me tell you the mistake that probably you are doing and everyone else is doing, because this online is just filled with a bunch of fucking gurus who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And I'd like to change that. So you're probably running ads similar to this. Maybe you're the guy that's like, I love image ads. So you're just pumping out ads and, you started selling this gummy. I don't even know what the fuck this gummy is for. I just found it online. And you're probably like copying fucking Canva templates and you're just posting a bunch of shit. Or I have a great example. Or you're just making videos like this, like posting videos like this.
No one believes me that I wear
the viral minimizing bra is on major sale.
Wearing the viral minimizer bra.
And just for reference,
oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh,
I ripped this from TikTok.
The end of the year, so these are on a
and it's amazing
sale right now. Not only
it's gonna make me money. I'm gonna go. Do we even have to watch this all? You're probably just ripping this one-on-one, like. So this is what you're doing right now. You're probably testing some image ads, some garbage fucking 30-second, 1-minute videos. You're probably having some like huge buy now sale, like please buy now, buy now, buy now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to red and fucking X all of this. You are no longer going to be in the trenches after this video. So please make sure to take out your notes because I'm about to carry you to victory royale. Let me tell you this, all right? You are lacking the understanding of how to actually market efficiently. Like marketing 101, that is what you're lacking. You've been absolutely psyoped to believe that you need to have these huge buy now sales. You have to rip ads and hopefully, crack a winner. And basically, if you're doing that, you know what you're relying on? It's like gambling at the casino. It's might as well, spin the ball and put all your money on red because you probably have a higher chance. I think it's 48% chance. You probably have a higher chance of making money there than you just speed testing, ripping, and doing all this and crossing your fingers and praying to God it's going to work out. Well, unfortunately, it will not work out. And why will it not work out? Because again, you're not understanding this person here. Who's this person? Well, let me go back to black here. Who is this person? This person here is your audience. Nice woman you might be selling to, right? And she's willing to give you money. As you can clearly see in this drawing, she's like, please take my money. I want my problem solved. And a lot of mistakes that beginners do, and what I used to do, look, I'm not here to, judge anybody. I used to make a bunch of mistakes, right? And we used to just be very egotistical and self-centered, meaning that you just see your business and everything in your POV. But you actually generally don't understand like the other side, this woman. Let's say we name her, Natasha. You're not understanding Natasha. Natasha's a real human being. She's a girl. She's a woman. And she's a real person who has real desires, real awareness levels, real emotions. And You don't even consider that. You're not even thinking about these people who have a problem, desperate. They're trying to solve a problem, and you don't understand them. And you're here just trying to rip ads and just try to, see numbers on a screen, and hopefully you can go, rent a yacht in Miami or some shit. I don't fucking know, right? So let's take a step back, and let's actually try to be a good citizen in this world, and let's try to understand Natasha. How do you understand Natasha? Well, understanding Natasha is going to come down to the psychographics, is like what I like to call, right? So, of course, you guys are probably aware, you've been told to learn about your customer avatar. You've probably learned about how you need to learn about their age, their gender, their skin color, their genetics. I don't fucking know. Their age. I already said that. Their kids, if they have kids. I don't know. That is what I like to call demographics. But we want to go a layer deeper. And this is what I like to call psychographics. What is psychographics? Well, psychographics is, of course, it's going to be these women or people awareness level. Beautiful drawing. It's going to be their beliefs, their emotions, their like state of mind, like everything, state of mind, like everything deeper, like everything genuinely deeper. Like you have to go a bit deeper. How do you understand, let's say I want to sell to someone similar to Natasha, right? How do you understand their awareness level? How do you understand their beliefs? How do you understand their emotions and their state of mind? Well, of course, it's going to come down to doing research, of course. Sorry, I skipped ahead. Well, of course, let me actually write this here. It's going to come down to your research, right? It's going to come down to your research. But now, once you do your research and you understand them, and it's pretty easy to do the research, obviously, you're going to have AI to be your leverage tool, which we're going to do. I'm going to give an example, and we're going to create a script from scratch that's probably going to print money if I were to actually make it into a VSL and post it and make a store around it and an offer. But basically, we're going to do it from scratch, so I'm going to guide you, of course, so please stick with that. But how do you now, if you do your research, right? How do you transfer that? Well, now that's going to be your core message. And what is your core message? Well, basically, this is something that you need to truly, and I mean truly, revolve your whole life basically around this, okay? Because the mistake that a lot of people and a lot of beginners do is that they are striving to get winning ads. But with a winning ad, again, your core base is unsustainable. If you just have one winning ad, well, guess what? That ad won't die long, especially if it's an ad like this, right? It won't last long, right? And once that dies, your whole business dies. So what are you actually striving? So before you understand how to make money, you got to understand like, okay, well, what makes money and why? The why, right? So the core message is going to be the absolute pinnacle of your success. It's going to be the absolute fundamental of your whole business. When you have a winning core message, this is what's going to allow you to post multiple ads that are always or mostly profitable, right? This is what you're striving for. This is what everything has to revolve around. If you are losing money, if your ads are unprofitable, if you're not converting well, if you're not having a good CTR, any problem you fucking have, one of the main aspects and main ideas to look at and try to see if I can fix this is going to be the core message. I know it may sound a bit weird because you're probably thinking, well, look, if I'm getting clicks but I'm not converting well, it's probably an offer. No. It could be the offer. You could slightly split test some offers. But what's going to be the highest leverage thing? The needle moving task. Trust me, it's the core message. For so many times, I've had stores that have just become, are unprofitable, or maybe they're getting sales and it's not, nothing's converting. I've had stores where the clicks are not there. I've had stores where the clicks are there, but the buying intention is not there. The add to carts, people just pulling out their credit cards was the problem. And instead of me going and looking at the offers of like how everyone does it, I've always known that the highest leverage thing to do is to tweak your core message. And with your core message, that is where I've actually seen the biggest improvements. Whether it flops, sure, it flops. But if I test and fix the core message, that's what actually gets me from unprofitable to scaling, like profitable and working business. Like, it's going to be your core message. So if you always have any problem you have, like, I can't emphasize this enough. If there is a problem you have in your business, please go ahead and check your core message. It's going to be the main thing. But now, for those who may be wondering, what is a core message? Well, basically, your core message, which I'm going to obviously give you a structure of what actually consists of a core message. But basically, the core message is not just a phrase, and it's not just an explanation of mechanisms. It's the whole belief system encoded in a story, but it's the thing that shifts the customer's identity, discredits their past solutions, and elevates your product as the inevitable next step. Now, for simple brain-rotted terms, this basically means that you're positioning your product as the hero, as the only solution. This is what allows you to basically say, hey, I understand you. I understand what you're going through, and I understand the problem. And what you need to do is actually this. And it just naturally positions your product as the answer. The only answer, naturally, not like a sales pitch, but just a natural, like a friend to friend being like, look, bro, I understand what you're going through. Same thing how I'm doing now, right? I understand what you're going through. I've been unprofitable for the longest time in my life. And now that I've figured out, some ways to fix your problem, I'm here just trying to naturally tell you what the solution is, right? So it's the same thing as I'm doing now. And basically, this is what the true goal of the core message is. It creates a psychological state where your prospect feels like they're understood, exposes the real reason they're stuck. And it gives them now a clear understanding or way of like, I know what I want and need now. So basically, just it creates this idea of this is for me. What I believed before was wrong. And now it transfers the desire. So now this is what I really want now. And then after, if you don't act, I'll stay stuck. So I need this now. So now you can probably understand why if you're having a buying intention issue, it's actually this, because you're just not understanding that what the power of your ad does, right? People buy through emotions, right? And it's now justified by logic. So please, that's a banger quote here. So people, okay, well, my pen stopped to work. People buy through emotions. But they justify through logic. I keep doing that. Right? And I'm going to explain to you why this is important. But basically, what your core message is both an emotional and logical transformation, right? And what this basically means is that your offer on your website and even your landing page, maybe you have a listicle and advertorial going to it, is basically just more about what you have to offer, right? But it's the ad that creates the emotion. It's the ad that creates the logic. So people are already mentally prepared to buy once they watch your ad. They just need to take the actions to do that, right? So when you're having a conversion rate issue, or whether you're having a profitability issue, it's always going to go leak into your ad. It's going to be your ad. Your ad is going to be everything. It carries. It does all the work. Your ad is what creates the first impression. Your ad is what stops people from scrolling to watch what you have to say. Your ad is what creates the emotions. Your ad is what creates the logic. Your ads what shifts the belief. Your ads is what does everything, right? So always leaning towards your ad. And now what, again, is the most important part of your ad? Well, that's what we're going through right now. It's the core message, right? So basically what you need to do now is basically create this bridge, right? And again, we're going to, bring them down through this like psychological journey. And basically this is what needs to really happen in their brain while they watch your ad, right? So first they have to have the recognition here. So they're describing exactly what I'm going through, right? And this is basically what a lot of people call calling out your audience, right? You basically, I'm resonating with you. I understand you. This is for you. Please watch this, right? I'm calling out your audience, right? So yeah, of course, as it says here, it triggers attention, safety, and trust. Now, the next thing it needs to do is it needs to invalidate past beliefs. So wait, maybe everything I've been trying is actually making it worse. Or maybe what I've been trying is not working, or I'm missing a key part of it. And that's kind of the impression I want to go into later. Now you have to reframe the problem. So the problem isn't what I thought. It's actually deeper. It's this hidden issue. Again, we'll cover that later about the hidden root cause. But this is what triggers curiosity and opens the mind and prepares the mind for basically this belief shift, or as here it says, belief replacement. Then it introduces the new solution paradigm. So there's a better way, and it makes sense. So there's a better way is the emotional transformation here. So it's like there's a better way. I'm having hope. I'm having belief, and it makes sense is the logical justification of that. Next would be your product is just, again, the logical next step. It just completes the puzzle. It's not just a product. I'm not here to just sell you. It's just basically completing the puzzle, right? And it triggers basically the resolution of uncertainty. So basically, like, when they're uncertain of what the problem is or basically what the solution may be, it just fills that in, and it's like, here is the key, the last step, right? And then emotional security and plus justification. This is obviously backed by your stats, your stories, your results, basically just the, justification of everything, of the price, of the product, of the science, of the data, everything, right? So all that needs to be done, right? This is what it basically is, right? Please take notes, take a screenshot, whatever this may be. But basically, at the end of the day, if I were like to sum up, your prospect needs to believe, right, that they were 99% of the way there, right? That was horrible. Why is my pen? Okay, I'm going to just restart. They were 99% of the way there, right? But they're missing that 1%, right? So basically what this means is, obviously I've made ads, different types of ads. And what I've realized that worked best is honestly when you can position your core message as this idea of you are not like completely out the park. Like it's not like you're saying, well, you're trying to solve hair loss, but you've been actually trying to you've been like sleeping properly, and sleeping properly actually just heals cancer or something. I don't know. Like, you're not out the park. You were 99% there. You knew you have a problem, and you were trying different serums and oils and whatever. You're right there, but you're missing this 1%. Now, what does that do in the head? Now, let me give the example to you. Let's say your problem is making money profitably, right? Winning ads. If I were to tell you, hey, look, you are 99% of the way there. You're doing everything. You know you have a problem. You know you have to make ads, right? You're almost there, but you're missing this one key. You're this one key, right? Like, let's say headlines. You have to do this headline. And this is basically what every guru does online, and they make a living off of it, right? You're missing this one thing, and I promise you, if you do this one thing, you're going to get your goal. And that creates urgency, buying intention alone right there, right? If I were to tell you, hey, right now, if you start tomorrow doing these types of headlines, you're going to be a millionaire already, right? So that's kind of the same perception on how we have to do it with these ads, right? Is like creating this perception of you're 99% there, but you're missing this one key, this one piece. And it's going to be the, obviously, again, as we'll go into it, this hidden root cause and then the solution, which is your product. But now I hope you're understanding, again, this is basically the information space, the info space. All these fucking guys who drive Lamborghinis and sell, make a living basically because their only income is that, right? Is going to be the information. That's what they do. They survive off this principle where it's like, you're almost there, but you need this one thing. What's only one thing? It's not complicated. It's so easy. You just need to do this one copy paste thing and you're rich tomorrow, right? So that's why they make money. So that's the impression that your core message has to leave, right? And we're going to transfer that. And now we're going to structurize it on how to actually do this. So what I have created here is basically this core message marketing cheat sheet. What is that? Well, basically, for every ad you make, every brand you have, anything, basically, if you don't have this filled out, you're losing. All right? So now, let's fill this in together with a product. And basically, let's create a script. So the product I've actually chosen today is this. I have no idea what the fuck this is. I'm going to be honest. I actually, usually, I was trying to look for products that, I already know to make this easier, but you know what? Let's go through the trenches together, right? And I have no idea what the fuck this product is, or what if it does, or I have no idea even if it's good, but I'm going to, let's say I had a fucking gun to my head. I had to run this product. I'm going to try to make it as best as possible, right? I'm just going to copy the name here, and I'm actually just going to save this image because I think it'll be beneficial. So I'm going to save this image here. All right. Hopefully it's saved on my computer. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT, and we're going to be well, first of all, obviously there's before I get into it, right? So before I get into it, let me just move this here. So before I get into it, when you do research, there's a lot of different ways you can do research. Now, obviously, you're going to see a few different ways on how I do it, it's very easily, it's very easy to just have a conversation with ChatGPT. I think AI is going to be very good if you just prompt it properly. Now, what I mean by prompt, it doesn't necessarily mean like a copy-paste prompt. What I mean is asking the right questions. I've done this so many times, I like to believe that I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for. I'm the marketing genius, not ChatGPT. I know what to look for, so I'm going to ask the right questions. And basically what I do is I treat AI as my assistant. I need to look for this, so just go fetch me the information. But I'm not going to tell ChatGPT, I don't know, I need to create a core message, go find me it. I don't know, do whatever you got to do, right? AI is not at that level yet. But I also like to say there's a lot of deep research you can do. ChatGPT has the deep research, tab that you can use. You can use Claude. Claude now released a new deep research tool as well. I like to use Gemini for deep research because, it's a lot more extensive and really well done. But basically, there's a lot of deep research, and you can probably do deep research on everything, right? You can go back to all this, awareness levels, beliefs, emotions, state of minds, all the psychographic stuff, right? You can go do deep research on solely the problem, solely on failed solutions, solely on the problem mechanism, so you can have documents, and each deep research is probably going to range from 10 to 20 pages of research. So if you do, let's say 10 pages of research for each of these problems, you're going to have probably 50, 60, 70 pages of research. And that's going to be pretty fucking good. It's pretty fucking good. You can read through it, skim through it. You can use AI again to help you sum it up, get the ideas, whatever it may be. I'm not going to do deep research because deep research obviously takes a bit of time. But I think I'm confident enough to just ask the right questions, and you can do like this. I'll probably go on Reddit to read some things myself. Anyways, let's just get through it. So first and foremost, I want to know what is even this problem, right? So what is this problem? So tell me, so ChatGPT isn't a real recognized medical term. Oh shit. But it might be here as misspelling. Bro, what? Bro, I think this whole video is a botch. Folliculus, Herman is the brand. Sorry, so So folliculitis is the all right, maybe let me just tweak this up. Just take this. What even is this problem? Folliculitis. So it's a skin condition where the hair follicles become inflamed, usually due to bacterial infections, fungal infections, irritations, and blocked follicles. So the real problem, it's often dismissed as just bumps or acne, but folliculitis can be painful, itchy, and embarrassing on the scalp. It can look like. So is it on the scalp? So it's kind of like this, maybe acne type, just a bit deeper. Obviously I can watch like TikTok videos and see maybe, and that might be good. So maybe let me do that, right? And see what we're cooking up with, right? So, bro. All right. So is it folliculitis? Folliculitis. Let's just maybe search this up. Can you fuck off, man?
Folliculitis is inflammation of the hair follicle, and they look like little bumps on the skin, sometimes with pus in them.
Nice. Okay. It's kind of like this type of acne.
If you have this, then you want to listen up, because today I'm spilling the tea on how to treat fungal monomorphous small itchy bumps that look.
Okay, and where do like they usually come up? Is it on the body? Maybe the face, the scalp? These are things to test, right? So, you know, maybe on different types of the body. Like it seems, all right. Maybe let's just, where is the most common place this happens in the body and why? See, there's the scalp, especially in people with textured hair, tight hairstyles, or heavy product use. I already know with my fucking genius marketing skills, it's probably targeted to scalp issues to black women. I'm sorry, when you're the GOAT, you're the GOAT at it. So scalp apparently is the number one. Oh, wait, oh my God, I didn't even see that. I promise you, I did not even see this. I promise you. I just thought about it. The second they said textured hair, I'm like, all right, I already know the audience, but all right. So let's say we're going to do this. I already know. I think if I were to run this product, I already know. I don't even got to test, but let's say I did test. Let's say I ran some ripped ads just for day 1, day 2 to test different problems and audiences. I would already assume black women on the scalp is probably the best one. So, all right, let's do it. Let's figure it. Let's double it down. We're doing black woman scalp. All right. So please tell me, which common please tell me why black women get this on their scalp. At what age? Or yeah, let's just keep it like this. Let's see what it says. So because of protective styles, heavy oils, tight styles create relaxers, harsh chemicals, undiagnosed, bottom line. All right. I see. Pretty interesting. So I don't think that this would have to be like a specific age. I don't think like older women or older black women. I think just women, they'll probably end up being like, you know, once, if I were to run ads, the demographic would probably be middle age to older anyways. But all right. So now please tell me the chain reaction of how this problem starts to find out the hidden root cause. So here is what happens. So trapped heat, sweat, and product buildup. Wigs, braids, or sew-ins cover the scalp, locking in sweat, sebum, and bacteria. Add thick oils. All right. Follicle becomes clogged, irritated. So dirt, oils, and dead skin cells clog the follicle opening. So this body sees this as a threat. All right. Sends white blood out when it's swelling, pimple like. Bacterial fungi invade the follicle. So if the scalp barrier is already damaged, so now it's just clogged, blah, blah, blah. Chronic inflammation destroys the follicle. Smooth, bald spots. All right. So what does it say? So it's not hair itself. It's not bad genetics. It's not just buildup. It's chronic microinflammation from clogged pores, infected, and inflamed follicles. So here is going to be like our like cause. Now, what causes the inflammation? So we can even go a bit deeper on like what causes the inflammation. Now, of course, they say like wearing the wigs, the braids, and the sew-ins started, right? Like that's technically the root cause. But I don't want to position that because, again, thinking about it, if I position like wearing braids and sew-ins are the hidden root cause, people will now be like, okay, so let me just stop and my problem's solved. Like, no, we have to explain to them that it is your follicles being clogged is the hidden root cause. And this is just making it worse, right? That's how I usually like to position. So just to confirm, right? Like, I want to understand. So just to confirm, it all starts with the clogged follicles, right? Because of dirt and shit, and yeah, let's try and shit, right? With these clogged follicles, then bacteria and fungus, what did it say? Start to attack it or infect it, causing inflammation and causing inflammation basically, and then therefore the inflammation causes the like folliculitis. What is it called? Folliculitis. You got it almost perfect. Fuck. What is it? What did I miss? Clogged follicles all started, caused by buildup oils, blah, blah, blah. Once follicles are clogged and suffocating the bacteria, which triggers body's immune system to respond, which is the inflammation. Oh, the inflammation is the folliculitis. And then they're saying this can cause scarring or like hair loss. All right. Well, I think our audience for this product is not looking for hair loss. It just seems to be like this painful inflammation, like acne stuff. So I don't think this is necessary, but this is it. All right. So I'm understanding that. Now, again, with deep research, you can come up with different, reasons why UMPs, UMS, you can come up with different unique solutions, mechanisms, blah, 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 right? But for now, I think this is probably the best start. I can wing it. So like technically I can, you know what? This is what I'll do. I just copy this. Concept, we're not going to do that. We're just going to copy this. Let me just say, all right, but we're not solving hair loss or bald spots. This is just for people, this is just for black women suffering from folliculitis and have this skin/acne issue that is painful. Please fill out this core message for me, please. All right, guys, and I hope you understand, like, this is very surface level, like, you know, there's only so much I can do. I think I'd be here for hours if I were to actually give it my best shot. But the main idea here is this, right? So let's see what it came up with. So black women aged between 25 to 45. I don't think this has to be a specific age, but whatever. Who wear protective styles, use oils, grease, and dealing with painful scalp or skin bumps. Look like acne that don't go away. All right. The problem. So they're painful, itchy red bumps on the scalp or hairline that feels like acne flare-ups, but worse after wearing wigs, braids, whatever. They're sore to the touch, sometimes scab over it and make her feel embarrassed, dirty, inflamed. The failed solutions, right? Oil scalp. So yeah, we already talked about this. Problem mechanism. So it's not just a buildup of bad hygiene. It's folliculitis, a deep infection of the hair follicle caused by trapped bacteria, sweat, and product buildup. Made worse by protective styles. It keeps emphasizing on that. I don't want to emphasize that much. This triggers inflammations, filled bumps, and pains. So solution mechanisms. They need to unclog the follicle. Oh wait, we didn't even... Oh shit, wait, hold up. Let's put the image of our product here and the ingredients. So these are the ingredients we are using to solve this problem. So can you please redo this, but now cater the solution mechanism with these ingredients. So let's see if these are true, by the way. So I'm curious to see what it says. So now, so while this is actually filling it out, do you understand now? So this is what the core message is. So basically it's consistent of your problem. There's usually four main parts of it, right? So it is going to be your problem mechanism, solution mechanism, and solution. Now, what we also like to add here is the failed solutions. So what else have they tried that didn't work and why? And also a few other things here, which I haven't written down, but I want to, is going to be this is what should be answered for every product, every brand you have, is going to be two things that we're missing here. So it's going to be the hidden root cause and the belief shift. They kind of go hand in hand. So depending on your product, right? Like your belief shift could be maybe leveraged more on the failed solutions. So if they know more about the hidden root cause, the belief shift will probably be stronger if they were to be told that like, okay, so you know the problem, but you're actually making it worse. That would be so like the failed solutions. But let's say they don't know the problem, like the belief shift would be in the hidden root cause in itself. So let's say like they think it's just general acne, but you're saying, no, it's folliculitis. It's actually a bit deeper and more painful and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh shit, that's crazy. So now that's the belief shift, right? So now the hidden root cause ends up being the belief shift. But these things should always be answered for everything. And these are going to be the most important things. Like I'm going to do, that was supposed to be a star, but star. These things are very important, okay? Now, what did ChatGPT come up with? So, of course, now we know the problem mechanism. So the problem is, they're dealing with the red, irritated, pus-filled bumps on the scalp, basically like scalp acne. It hurts, burn to the touch, makes them feel dirty, blah, blah, blah. Failed solutions, of course, we've already talked about that. The problem mechanism is actually folliculitis, as we said, is a bacterial fungal infection of the follicle caused by trapped oils, sweat, and friction. Then the inflammation starts deeper under the scalp and gets worse, right? Solution mechanism. So first thing you need to do is they need soothing antimicrobial herbal treatment that penetrates the follicle to kill the bacteria, fungus causing the infection, calm the inflammation, burning, speed the healing damaged follicles in the skin, and restore the scalp comfort with harsh chemicals. Solution, you need our cream. Right? Core message summed up. So those painful bumps aren't just surface irritations. They're infected follicles suffocating under styles, oils your scalp can't breathe through. So this plant-powered cream clears the infection, soothes the inflammation, lets your scalp. All right. So now I just want to double check. So which adjective, right? So the main problem starts with the clogged follicles. Do any of these ingredients from this product help with that? Let's take a step at a time and make sure everything's legit here. Great catch. Yes. Problem starts with clogged follicles. Yes, I understand. Oh, partially? Sheesh. Oh. Well, you can already see that this product is probably not the best product, but like I said, we're here to make it work. So this ingredient here can help dissolve dead skin and debris in the follicles. Well, doesn't that like... So, what are the main things that clog their follicles that cause this damage? Is it like oils? Heavy oils. Here, dead skin cells. Perfect. And so here we go. This is how you craft the message to cater it, right? So dead skin cells, hot water sweat cells. So if dead skin cells causes clogged follicles, we can market... I'm not even going to try to pronounce this ingredient, so I'm just going to copy. Truthful. Nice. Okay, so we got that ingredient to help unclog the follicles. Then we said this seems like it is a strong antibacterial, good for killing the microbiomes. Okay. And then a lot of things. Well, you got a lot of ingredients that kind of do all the same thing. So you can be like, okay, so this unclogs the follicles. This so Stemona tuberosa and Sephora whatever fuck helps with killing the microbes, in the, the bacteria. And then this and this help with the killing the inflammation. And then this and this are to help with the cooling and finally healing it in. So basically, So I'd like to explain here the mechanism. So oh, but they got it here actually. Wait. Oh no. So this, the Dryobalano, I don't even know these names are. So the Dryobalano helps clear the buildup. The Surfora herba, no, yeah, the Surfora. See, this gets a little complicated. It's a fucking complicated ass product, man. Jeez. The Sephora and the Stemona. The Sephora and the Stemona help kill the bacteria and microbes, fungus as well. Then the herba, euphorbia, nasutis help heal the inflammation, and menthol and Moria help seal the healing by soothing and cooling the pain. That was a fucking tongue twister and a half, but we're good. All right, so it's basically like this 5-step. It's saying like this 5-step. Why is it 5? Brother, it's 4. You just fucking... It's a 5-step protocol that unclogs... Bro, what is ChatGPT on? It's a... This is it. 5-step herbal protocol. So it unclogs follicle, clears the infection, calms the inflammation, and soothes pain. That's fucking 4. Did you fail math, brother? So yeah, never. That's why you don't trust ChatGPT to carry you to victory, because it cannot even add. All right, so that's the mechanisms. That would be the solution mechanism. It would be a pretty complicated solution mechanism. All right. All right, now let's do the problem mechanism. So wait, the problem mechanism, I didn't like how it was explained. So just by saying to stop using wigs is not strong enough. What's an inevitable problem mechanism that happens in their body that causes this? When the scalp is covered for long periods of time? No, man. Step-by-step breakdown. No, I'm not liking this at all. It's not the wig. It's what the wig does to your scalp environment over time. I don't like that. I don't think it's strong. Like, what can we do? Like, no. Give me a bunch of other true mechanisms that causes the follicles to get clogged inevitably. All right, you give me this one more time, I will come to the ChatGPT headquarters and do some nasty things. No, I like this. Overproduction of keratin. Many people, especially with melanin rich, their body naturally produces more keratin. This thickens the follicle walls and increases the chance of keratin plugs. Ooh! I like that because it's catered to the specific audience. Mike, I don't even know if I want to read anything else. Scalp barrier damage and scalp barrier lack of lymphatic drainage. Fuck you, lymphatic drainage, my ass. All right, we're gonna go with fucking keratin. I really like the keratin. So please write out the problem mechanism for that. Inducing that it's inevitable and more common in black women, and that's why they have the problem. The hidden root cause for most black women don't realize that follicle doesn't come from dirt or grease. If the real root cause something is deeper, a biological process called the it means that your body naturally produces more keratin, the protein that forms your skin and scalp. And while keratin is supposed to protect you, in excess it becomes a problem. It starts to thicken around the follicles opening, mixing this over the time. This traps bacteria and fungus, creating perfect storm. Yeah, perfect. All right, I like it. So now, if I were to sum this up to you, from my understanding, is let's say you're a black woman. Okay? I'm going to pretend you're a black woman. So you're dealing with folliculitis. Why? Well, it's because, your genetics, tend to create more keratin. And keratin basically is this natural protein that basically is the skin of your scalp. And when you create, I'm fucking it up. Now, when, over time, your body tends to naturally produce more keratin, therefore creating more of these blocked follicles, right? Creating more oils, sweat from other products. And what happens is when these follicles are blocked, bacteria, fungus start to attack it, right? Creates this, fungus, creates this inflammation, right? And that's what basically is the folliculitis. So what you really need is actually first, you need to unclog the pores using Borneo camphor. It's easier to say. The Borneo camphor. Then after that, once you unclog the follicles, then you need to kill the infection. You need to get rid of that bacteria by using Sephora and Stamina. All right? Then the damage is already done. The inflammation's there. So you got to calm the inflammation. You got to heal the inflammation. That's why we got Herba, Euphorbia, Nasatis. That kills the inflammation for good. And to seal it in, to heal the barrier and seal that pain for good, is using our menthol and a Mariah Exotica. Great. It's a very complicated ass fucking thing. So I'm just assuming these people are problem aware. It's a pretty unique problem to begin with, the folliculitis. It's not something pretty common. I don't think they're a more they are frustrated for sure, but they probably, if you're just solving general acne, then this audience has probably tried a bunch of acne products. These people are yeah, well, you know what? Let's create our core message here first. Finalize our finalize and sum our core message here. So those painful bumps on your scalp aren't acne. It's not dirt or just buildup. It's infected follicles caused by a hidden process called hyperkeratinization, where your product. No, whoa. No. Tragedy, man. Why did I have to choose such a complicated fucking product, bro? I'm gonna be honest. They're a medical condition called folliculitis. It happens when your hair follicles become clogged, infected, and inflamed from the inside. And the hidden trigger, well, it's this natural process called the hyperkeratinization, where your scalp produces too much keratin, the same protein that forms your skin. But with this excess keratin mixes with oil and product buildup, it blocks the follicles and traps bacteria and fungus inside. And because hyperkeratinization is more common in black skin, the cycle hits black women harder, even if they're clean, careful, and doing everything right. That's why bumps need coming back. That's why the bumps keep coming back. That's why it hurts. That's why nothing seems to work. Our formula solves this at the root. It clears the clog, kills infection, calms the inflammation, and then soothes the pain, so your scalp can finally heal. I think it's a pretty solid fucking core message. So now, this would be our core message, right? As you saw here, we now need to come up with a concept, and we need to come up with a story. So how do we do that? Let's do our own research here. So folliculitis, black woman, Reddit. Wow, 1.1k comments. That's a huge amount. So maybe these people, and this is 5 years ago, maybe people are aware of folliculitis. Maybe I'm just retarded. I suffer from and eventually discovered to be folliculitis. All over my butt, where a swimsuit would... Okay, dermatologist. A few years ago, I discovered an article. "20 years of folliculitis." Alright, so people know about it. Alright, so I'm just tripping. So the hidden root cause would probably have to be shifted to the hyperkeratinization. I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Wow, it's a really popular thing. I've not seen so many Reddit posts so popular. Chronic scalp folliculitis. I may likely have developed a long-term cure using a short-term treatment. This is so interesting. This is a great headline, by the way. So I've been suffering from chronic and recurring scalp folliculitis since I was 18. It was so bad at one point I had 2 to 3 dozen bald spots in the back of my scalp, all which eventually grew back. But these diseases remained chronic for 7 years until a simple remedy that has been first time. Wow, a very passionate market. This is really good. A terrible scalp. Tried everything. During almost 3 years, I visited more. Wow. Well, first of all, it is to be assumed that I would get more solution-aware posts since I wrote the problem here. If I were to write maybe like what was it, like acne, red, scalp acne maybe? Like, why do I have scalp acne or some shit? Years of severe scalp acne, bro, they still write folliculitis here. Scalp acne, what can I do? So white man, brother. You all said to use anti-dandruff. You were right. $4 shampoos done in 2 weeks. Wow, interesting. I think they're look. I'm very confident. I think they're aware. Folliculitis. So I like just to make this so basically I'm just gonna go to chat. You copy this. Sum up the key points from this Reddit post. State their awareness level, belief, current belief, and everything about it, so we can use this as an angle for an ad on our product here. All right, so let's see what it comes up with. Unaware, product aware. Oh, fuck me, I'm a fucking retard. I haven't even posted it. Let me. All right, send it. I was about to say unaware. Chill the fuck out, brother. Solution aware, yeah. So they know they have scalp folliculitis. They believe bacteria is the root cause. They're aware of failed or temporary treatments. The problem is chronic, recurring, and frustrating. Most solutions are temporary or failed. It's not about washing more. It's about using the right antimicrobial protocol. Pain points. Multiple bald spots. Years of suffering. Tried everything. Frustration, no. What's new? This person's PhD pharmaceutical just. What's mostly valuable to adapt? It refrains from it as a deep bacterial function instead of inside the follicle. It builds belief that the real fix comes from the root targeting protocol. Yeah. Oh, it's a man? Why does it say his? It's a man? Is it actually a man? How do you know? Why did it say he? Actually, bro, if you look at this, wait. We might be looking at this the whole fucking... Is folliculitis in black, I guess, people more common in men or women? Black men are still more likely to be diagnosed. Oh my gosh, this changes everything. Interesting. Well, we're going to stick with women just because that was like our whole point of research, but sheesh. All right. Interesting. All right. Okay. Well, let's just create the fucking script, you know? It's already been an hour. If you're still watching, you're the fucking GOAT, bro. Like, generally, you're the GOAT. You're really here to improve yourself. I love that shit. Brain-rotted people would have left a long, long time ago. So So how do we craft a headline? Well, let me explain this to you. How do we craft a headline? It's a good thing to teach you. How do we craft a headline? Well, basically, the headline is going to need to have, call out the audience. That's what it needs to do. Call out audience. All right. It needs to have the belief shift. Oh, shit. Brother. It needs to have the belief shift. It needs to promise result. Now, there are so many different headline structures, so many different ways, but like these are the main key point of it, right? So and my ChatGPT is already GOAT, right? So using our fully amplified headlines, Eugene Schwartz style, Can we create a headline that covers this Reddit post headline? Be interesting. This is a classic, yeah, it's just basically a classic fucking headline structure. Pharmaceutical scientist ends 7 years of chronic inflammation with a 14-day protocol anyone can do at home. That's actually a pretty good one as well. He had 3 dozens suffering from chronic. So I like this, to be honest, like starting from this. I always like to start very short, sweet, and like oomph, right? Basically it stops the scroll, right? So I can like mix it in, right? So I like to start with this. So suffering from blah, blah, blah. A pharmaceutical scientist ends 7 years of 7 years like I don't want to mention it because we're like pharmaceutical scientist and I'll do like finally ends. Let's treat it to a girl. Her 7 years of pain? Of pain with this simple 4-step protocol. Anyone, so wait, suffering from chronic scalp inflammation. I'm actually going to even put like as a black woman, question mark. This pharmaceutical scientist finally ends her 7 years of pain with a simple 4-step protocol. Yeah, something like this. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Love the angle. It's direct, specific, emotionally charged. So, polish. Suffering from chronic scalp as a black woman, this pharmaceutical scientist finally ends her 7 years of pain with a simple 4-step protocol anyone can do at home. That's a pretty banger headline, but does it really follow this? Like, I have developed a long-term cure for using a short-term treatment. Something like that. I like this headline. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe you can even split test it, but like I wanna incorporate using the Reddit headline as inspiration. So, suffering from chronic scalp folliculitis as a black woman. This pharmaceuticals. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm still gonna do finally. Finally, what does it say? Developed a long-term cure using a short-term. Like, bro, honestly, like, what if I just do this? So, suffering from chronic scalp folliculitis as a black woman, this pharmaceutical scientist developed a long-term cure using a simple 14-day treatment that changed everything. I would even just take out. I wouldn't even take out this. So let's start creating a script here, right? So I'm actually going to put both of those headlines. I actually kind of like it. I kind of like both. I'm not a big guy on split testing headlines for those who know me. But in this case, why not? Just for the, you know. So let's put this like this. Okay. Or something like this. All right. Something like this. All right. So now comes to the scripting part here. All right. Well, so let's create a script under 800 words using this core message. So where's the core message? Well, it remembers it. So thank gosh, it's the same chat. So using the core message and attaching it to the story of the Reddit post. Craft a more solution-aware headline, script, sorry. Going pretty straightforward, straight to the mechanism. So I do have like, I don't know, I have like a simple like copy, like, let's see. Hold on. I have this like mini VSL structure that sometimes I like to use. If you guys want this, this structure here, let me just duplicate this. So this structure here basically is something I kind of use when I want a more of a shorter, straightforward script, right? It's very like, if you have a concept that revolves more about the story, if you need the story, right? Because again, you have to remember, not every product, not every market, not every awareness level is going to, you know, obviously like require the same structures. For an example, if you're really like selling like a very, I don't know, saturated, competitive, very tired audience, very frustrated audience, like a 30-minute VSL may not work, right? And that's why like my VSL structure I always like to do here is going to be a mini VSL that covers, you know, the awareness level of like problem / solution aware, right? Oh. Where this is going to go after is going to go to like a listicle. What is wrong with my fucking pen, man? It's going to go to a listicle, which is more like product aware / most aware. And then product page. So PDP. Right? Now this is like, I like to have this VSL structure or like this funnel structure because I find it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. It does everything, basically. Not everything, but like it's in the middle, right? But there's times where there's people that do like 30-minute VSLs to an advertorial, to a sales page. There's people that do like maybe a mini VSL to like an advertorial or a longer VSL than product page. Like there are different structures. I like to do this because I think it caters to the majority of, you know, the audiences, at least to start it off. Now, obviously, now you have to understand, again, this can go different ways when you start to scale. Now, this is my whole point maybe of the whole video, is that understanding that you have to just know your audience and you have to warm them up specifically to where they are at. A 30-second ad straight to a product page is good for fucking retargeting. But if you're launching a fucking product, there ain't no retargeting. People don't know who you are, right? So this is always the best, like I like to believe, the best funnel structure to start off. It can always start off in any ways, and you can scale very easily. Not easily, but you can scale pretty, like, you can scale a good amount with this structure. Now, of course, when I said you scale, you have to understand your audience more. When you understand your audience more, then you can consider using different funnel structures. But this is the whole point. Like, you don't just do, like, this is when you now understand the fundamentals of who your audience is, where they are, how to warm them up. Now going all the way back here, right? Like, this shit doesn't work. People don't know your brand. People don't know your product. So you have to go through all this and put it in this structure here, right? Because that is what's going to allow it. So anyways, let me be like, this is the structure to follow. I don't know. Brand name is Genius J. Because let's see what it comes up with. All right. So while that's being written, I think I'm going to pause. All right. So this is basically a very straightforward VSL structure. Very minimum story. But it gets straight to the point, right? So let me add this here and see how it is, right? I don't like the spacing of this, so I think we're just going to read it off here. So the headline, basically, we're going to go with maybe the second one. So, suffering from chronic scalp folliculitis as a black woman, this pharmaceutical scientist finally ended her 7 years of pain with a simple 4-step protocol anyone can do at home. You've tried washing more, switching products, greasing less, maybe even prescription creams, and still the flare-ups come back. Painful, pus-filled bumps. That itch, burn, and spread. It's not just frustrating, it's exhausting. Here's what most people don't realize. Scalp folliculitis is an internal infection and it's not a surface problem. For many black women, the real root cause starts with a process called hyperkeratinization. That's when your scalp naturally produces too much keratin, the same protein that forms your skin. In excess, it builds up around the follicle, opening, sealing it shut like a glue cap. Add in sweat, oil, and trapped bacteria, and now your follicle becomes a tiny war zone, inflamed, infected, and then pulsing with pain. That's why most products don't work. They treat the itch, but not the infection behind your unclogged pores. So a pharmaceutical scientist who personally suffered from this for 7 years finally cracked the code. He had 2 to 3 dozen bald spots at one point until he developed a 4-step protocol that just didn't soothe it, but it shut it down. His secret? A short-term treatment that targeted the problem at the root inside the follicle. Now, that protocol inspired a safer herbal-based alternative that works the same way. Not by masking the symptoms, but following the same 4-step logic. Step 1. Using this fucking whatever. A powerful natural exfoliant that helps dissolve dead skin and build up the same gunk that traps bacteria in the first place. Step 2. Kill the bacteria and fungus inside. With the ancient antimicrobials like Sephora. Damn, like this gets complicated. We're gonna have to. I would have to like. Please, simpler. So yeah, this wouldn't be good because it's just very like. All right. All right, so I redid it a bit, and I think this is a bit better. So because I do believe the mechanism was a bit more of complicated stuff. Again, I don't like the fact that they kind of separated like this. Becomes a bit too like robotic, but we can, always change that up with ourselves when we finalize it. So basically, folliculitis means your hair follicles are clogged and infected. And that happens from something your scalp does naturally, even if you're clean. So your scalp makes a protein called keratin. Most people do. But for some, especially for black women, your scalp makes too much of it. And that extra keratin builds up and blocks the holes where your hairs grow out. Think of it like putting glue inside a straw. Now picture this. Sweat, oil, and bacteria get trapped behind that glue. There's no air, no way for the junk to come out. And when bacteria get stuck like that, they grow fast and makes your scalp angry. So that's why it itches. That's why it hurts. That's why you get those red, painful bumps, and why they always come back. So how do you fix it? Not with another oil, not with another surface cream. You have to treat the whole problem from the inside of the follicle out. That's what Genius J Follicle Relief Cream. It's not a band-aid. It's a four-step healing formula, right? We use Borneo camphor. It's like a tiny broom. It helps sweep out the dead skin and gunk that blocks your follicles. Then we add herbs like Sophora and Stamina. They go deep into the follicle and wipe out the bacteria and fungus causing the infection without harsh drugs or chemicals. Your scalp gets hot, red, and swollen because your body's trying to fight the infection. So we use plants like Herba Violae, Euphorbia, and whatever to cool down that inflammation and take the pressure off. And then menthol gives you that clean, cool relief, and Maria helps you repair the skin barrier so your scalp can finally rest and stay calm. It's fast, lightweight, doesn't have any grease mess behind it, and yes, it works even if you wear your wigs, braids, or protective styles. Because it's designed for your scalp, right? So, if you want me to break this down, I think this would be the best. So basically, I have another mini VSL structure that usually is good. Usually is like another standard VSL that I structure that I use. And basically, this is what I like to do when I call. So basically, it's called. I've already made a video about this. Oh, damn. It's called basically message market matching. So basically, this is basically the principle of taking your core message and basically putting it into into a script, right? So another thing we can do basically is copy this and maybe can my computer stop having a seizure, please? So maybe I don't really like this. I think so they explained the mechanism pretty good. So I'll explain. So you explained the mechanism good. Now, keeping how simply you explain the mechanism for this headline, which will where was the headline? No, this was the first one. We'll do this. For this headline, taking the Reddit post as a story concept, create a VSL under 800 words following this structure. And now this is where I'll go. Oh, do not know. Copy. So while that's being done, if you want this structure, take a screenshot. I'm not sending you this document. Don't ask. It's for private purposes only. It is for people. So should not even be. Just take the screenshot, and you can have ChatGPT put the image in ChatGPT and be like, can you just write this out for me? So here's a structure. Partially, I'm just lazy, and there's more information in this that I am not going to give out right now. But if you just want this mini VSL structure, just take a screenshot right here. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Let's see what it's cooking up here. So this is a bit of a longer VSL, right? So every morning I'd wake up, scratch without even thinking. Well, first of all, here's the hook. We already said it. The back of my scalp always sore. The bumps would start small, red, itchy, annoying, and then flare into painful, pus-filled spots. Washing didn't help. Styling made it worse. And every night I'd go to bed hoping it'd calm down, only to wake up to more bumps, more pain, more shame. I stopped letting people touch my hair. I wore wigs and braids just to hide the breakouts. And deep down, I felt embarrassed, like my scalp was dirty, like I was doing something wrong. But I was clean. I tried everything. Still, my scalp felt like I was fighting me every day. I tried anti-dandruff shampoos. I tried greasing my scalp less. The more tea tree oil, sulfur ointments, apple cider vinegar. Some things helped for a few days, but nothing lasted. The bumps always came back. Then one day, this is the discovery of the root cause, the aha moment, very important. Then one day I was venting to a classmate. He's a pharmaceutical scientist. And I said, I think I have scalp acne or something and it won't go away. He looked at me and said, that's not acne, that's folliculitis. I blinked. Follicular what? He explained. Your hair follicles is getting clogged and infected. It starts from inside the scalp, not outside. All right, so now it's like, okay, folliculitis is the problem. He said most people treat the itch or the flakes, but that's not the real problem. The real problem is too much keratin. It's natural protein your scalp makes, but if you make too much, it clogs the follicle like glue in a straw. Then sweat oil gets trapped, bacteria moves in, and boom, you've got bumps, pain, and full-blown infections. You can't fix that with oils, he said. You have to unclog the follicles, kill the bacteria, calm the inflammation, and help the scalp heal. He gave me a 4-step routine using over-the-counter ingredients. And I'm not kidding, within 14 days, my scalp felt better in years. No more burning, no more that. The same routine inspired a new formula, one that does the same thing but safer, easier, and without. It's called Genius J, whatever. It's built to work in 4 simple steps. Unclog the follicles using this. By day 3, the itching stopped. Day 7, day 14. Price justification. I spent $400 on oil shampoos, but none of it worked long term. Object and handling. So what if you've already tried everything? You've tried surface fixes. This works deeper, inside the follicle where the problem actually starts. Urgent CTA. This is a pretty good script, right? Now, obviously, we can go a lot deeper. This is a more problem aware. I like to believe the structure here I made problem aware. Maybe, it's good to test, but obviously seems to be that people know that their folliculitis is a problem. So having the root cause as the belief shift. So I can write that out, be like, the belief shift you used here is folliculitis, but women know that they have it. Please create the same structure, but for a solution aware, where the belief shift is how it's a deeper infection in the scalp that starts with extra keratin. All right. I can wear a hair wrap, blah, blah, blah. I tried antifungal shampoos. Then I learned something that changed everything. My friend, he's a pharmaceutical scientist, looked at my scalp. You're not just dealing with surface level folliculitis. The real problem is happening deeper inside the follicle. Explained that your scalp produces something called keratin. It's totally normal, protects your skin, but for some people make too much, especially black women. The extra keratin builds up inside the follicle like glue. Now, trying to breathe through a straw that's blocked with glue. Once your clogged bacteria and fungus get trapped, your body starts to blah, blah, blah. All right. I think it's a pretty good script. Headline is great. We made it, right? Now it talks about the problem. So they're going into the problem. And obviously, if you have maybe done deeper research on the psychographic, your problems could be more accurate, more yeses. That's the goal, right? Is to have your whole script being like, yes, 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 this is for me. Yes, 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 this is for me. It's the main goal, right? So states the problem and agitates it a bit more. I stopped letting people touch my hair. I don't know why that's a thing, but sure. I wore wigs and braids just to hide the breakouts, and deep down I felt embarrassed. Like my scalp was dirty. It was good. Invalidate. I tried anti-dandruff shampoos. I tried this. I tried that. Some things help for a few days, but nothing lasts. So now the reason why I don't like this is because, again, my ChatGPT is not prompted for this. Doesn't have enough research, right? But basically, a question that this script needs is why other solutions don't work. So this is point one. We'll do here, point one. So why other solutions don't work? You're missing out this idea of you've tried this, but why don't they work? Do they make it worse, or do they just are ineffective? Why are they ineffective? Why do they make it worse? So basically just explaining that would be a very good point. Now, discovering the root cause. I think the root cause is pretty good here. So, oh wait, this is not the script. Sorry. But it's the same thing. So we don't explain it because we don't have ChatGPT prompted into this information. So we would need to figure that out, add it in here. Now discovery. So, her friend is a pharmaceutical scientist, pretty good, whatever. You're not dealing with surface level oils. The real problem is happening deeper inside the follicle. So it's a pretty good belief shift. I think maybe we can reword it a bit differently, but like there's always a sentence that states the belief shift, and it's going to be a huge important factor. But I think it's pretty good. I would keep it for now. But some people make too much, especially for black women. I liked how they, mentioned that black women are more prone to making too much keratin. So that's really great. So now imagine trying to breathe through a straw that's blocked with glue. That's why your hair follicles are dealing with. Once they're clogged, bacterial and fungus gets trapped inside and your body starts to fight again. All right. He said most treatment only fix what's on the surface, but if you don't unclog the follicles, so you need something that can clear the keratin buildup, kill the trapped bacteria, and calm the inflammation, and help the skin finally heal. It was just very unfortunate. I honestly chose this product at random right before recording, and this ended up being a very, very complex product, which is unfortunate. Usually, things are a lot easier, usually. So, this 4-step thing is a pretty complex thing, but yeah, it's still, that's what it is, right? That's what led me to the product, so this is where the product becomes a natural thing. Because after, it's supposed to be very natural transition to understanding, okay, I know what the problem is. It's this extra keratin that blocks the follicles, causes inflammation, and, causes my problem, right? Now, what I need to do is obviously unclog the follicles, and kill the bacteria and calm the inflammation, right? So now it's a natural thing. So now that's where you have this product. And how does it? Now it asks the question of how this product does that. Well, it unclogs the follicle by using this ingredient, kills infection by this ingredient, calms inflammation by this ingredient, soothes in that ingredient, blah, blah, blah. And then the rest I think is pretty fine. Of course, I think starting from scratch, a first VSL for this brand, it would not be bad. Obviously, my own ChatGPT, if I were to keep going, would be, you know, a lot better and optimized with more information, more deep research. I think the more research you can give your AI, the better scripts it can come out with. But basically, the only thing that I would say is really missing is just why other solutions don't work. I think it's a very important factor. The rest seems to be fine, right? Besides that, this has been a long video. I hope you took the time, maybe even if you took the time to take notes, took you a few days to watch this. I really hope that you're understanding the fundamentals of this. At the end of the day, this is a lot different and a lot boring. It's more boring. It's harder to do that than just ripped ads. But trust me, when you have ads that are truly understanding Natasha, which was our target audience, truly understanding the psychographics, truly creating the core message through research, understanding, obviously this is what the core message does, position this as you've done everything right, but you're just missing this one thing, which is here in our case was you were doing everything right, just, you're missing this idea of the keratin. You have to get rid of this keratin buildup, right? Obviously I can add that into ChatGPT and talk about that principle. Like, look, maybe it's like this script here, it's not positioning this as, they're 99% of the way, 99% of the way there, but they're missing that 1%. If I were to add that, probably script would be better. Then this is obviously the marketing cheat sheet. So you have to be answering this and filling this out for every ad, for every product, emphasizing on the hidden root cause and the belief shift. This is what, the fundamentals of the headline that we created. This was, the structure of our script that we used. Oh no, this is the script. The structure of the script was either this, which I didn't like. That's why I stopped it. So we'll scratch that out. I ended up doing this one, which I gave you guys it, but this is a more problem aware. So, and then this is my funnel, mini VSL to listicle to product page. This is the structure. Sorry. Here it is. This is a problem aware. Understand that. This is a problem aware structure, more or less. It tends to create more problem aware scripts. You can obviously explain that it's more solution aware. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. This was a lot. It was a lot. I'm fucking tired just recording this, but let me know if you have any other questions in the comments. I'm really trying to do my best to help you understand that there is a lot to marketing. There's so much, and there's only so much I can really teach within a YouTube video. Of course, I'm trying my best. I think this is just the surface of it. Obviously, we can go a lot deeper into it. I don't think this script is the best, but obviously, it's a great start. It's a great start. Obviously, you just get some B-roll from TikTok, from Canva, do an AI voiceover on the script, boom, post the ad. And basically, it's going to be a way better results than fucking ripping ads like this. Or like this. Let's go back to this. Ripping ads like this. I promise you that. So, thank you for watching. And of course, as always, I'll see you at the top.